so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. You're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
On a brisk night in Medford, we welcome you back to Cousins Gymnasium for some playoff basketball. At the beginning of today, 64 teams were still dancing, and after tonight, only 32 will remain. I'm Sam Brill, joined alongside Jared Cohn, and we're pleased to bring you the Tufts Jumbos' first-round matchup against the Clark Summit Lady Defenders. Jared, last week the Jumbos suffered a tough loss in the NESCAC tournament to Amherst. What do they have to do tonight to change the narrative?
All right, well, the Jumbos need to come out strong tonight, and they need to put that loss behind them. The NESCAC is an incredibly competitive conference, and while the season hasn't gone as planned, they were borderline unstoppable at times, and a return to that form could really spark them in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, Jared, you spoke about how excellent this Jumbos team has been, but how about Clark Summit in their first trip to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, that's right. Clark Summit is coming off a dominant season in which they won their conference, but it is unfamiliar territory here in the NCAA tournament. That doesn't mean they're unprepared, however, as they're led by CSAC Player of the Year Elizabeth Singleton, and their starting lineup is full of the best players in the CSAC. Their talent is really nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, Jared, and with all that being said, can you walk me through the keys to the game?
Yeah, so today's keys to the game are going to be very important. As I mentioned before, Tufts needs to forget about the NESCAC. They need to move on and bring their A game to this matchup. The swagger that they had during their huge run towards the end of the regular season needs to come back. Secondly, they need to take away Clark Summit's stars. Of course, this is easier said than done, but Clark Summit relies heavily on the production of their best players. In their 4 losses this season, Elizabeth Singleton shot 46% from the field, well below her season average of 54.5%. If Tufts can limit just one of Clark Summit's biggest scorers, they should come out on top. Next, Tufts really needs to hammer the size advantage. Clark Summit simply does not have the size to match up with Tufts. Russell, Rosa, and Ala Brandy should all be able to wreak havoc on the opposing defense, and Tufts should be able to exploit extremely favorable matchups in their favor. They shouldn't hesitate to force the ball to their biggest players early and often. And lastly, Tufts needs their secondary scorers to be aggressive. We know what Tufts stars can do, but they're not on every night, and when they're off, Tufts sometimes struggles to adjust. Callie O'Brien, Annika Decker, and Sophia Rosa need to hunt shots if necessary. If Tufts can get real offensive production out of them, the burden on Maggie Russell and the recently struggling Molly Ryan becomes significantly smaller.
That's right, Jared. The Jumbos have struggled recently, shot only 35% from the field against Amherst. And you spoke specifically about Molly Ryan's struggles, but former dominance as she was still recognized on the NESCAC second team. Elizabeth Singleton, on the other hand, for the Lady Defenders, has been equally elite and honored as the CSAC Player of the Year. Walk us through this marquee matchup.
Yeah, now is really the time for Molly Ryan to make a statement. As you said, Singleton is the CSAC Player of the Year, but she's undersized, only 5'5", and Molly Ryan is at times an elite perimeter defender, leading the team in steals. If Ryan can put clamps on Singleton, she may single-handedly help Tufts advance to the next round. Whoever comes out on top on this matchup will be a big contributor to the way that this game ends.
Absolutely, Jared. And we've said that this is Clark Summit's first trip to the NCAA tournament. And they run a pretty shallow team, only playing about 5 or 6 deep. How could that influence today's game?
Yeah, as you said, Clark Summit, they play their starters upwards of 35 minutes a night, every single one of them. They like to run them, and they like to run them often. In the regular season, that sometimes leads to big blowout wins, which they had. But in the NCAA tournament, it'll be interesting to see if Tufts can control the pace and run those players off the court. If Clark Summit can keep their best women on the court for the entire game, that's playing to their favor. So Tufts needs to do whatever they can to exploit matchups and force those players off the court.
Yeah, Jared, and this Lady Defenders team has 4 players averaging in double figures. Those are Singleton, Randy Traxler, Allison Ayton, and Tori Lehman. For the Jumbos, they also have 4 scoring in double figures. That's Russell, Ryan, Poindexter McCann, and Rosa. So it seems, at least on paper, that these are 2 statistically pretty even teams.
Yeah, they are. I think the one thing I would say about Clark Summit is that they take a lot more threes than the Jumbos, and they certainly hit a lot more as well. Randy Traxler and Allison Ayton would both lead the Jumbos in three-point makes if they were on the opposing team. So something to look out for tonight, the one real discrepancy between the 2 teams.
And now we'll direct your attention to midcourt and eventually the flag for the national anthem as both of these teams get ready for their pre-NCAA tournament honors.
Clark Summit University Lady Defenders and the Tufts University Jumbos. Student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, and other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, or team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated, and our grounds for removal. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe and positive game environment. Respect, it's the name of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem.
Jared, now as we get set to hear some of these starting lineups, who are we expecting here for Clark Summit?
Yeah, for Clark Summit, they love to play their best players. They love to play them a lot. So you're going to see a lot of Elizabeth Singleton, as we said, CSAC Player of the Year. You're going to see a lot of Brandy Traxler, their second leading scorer. You're going to see a lot of Allison Ayton, Tori Lehman, and Michaela McLeod. Michaela McLeod, a triple threat. Leads the team in assists, but also a strong rebounder. And she only averages 8 points a game, maybe their fifth leading scorer. She plays 35 minutes a game. That's the type of thing you see from this team.
That's right, Jared. It's obviously important to recognize that a little bit easier to get assists when you've got people scoring 20-plus points a game and 4 in double figures, but definitely an excellent look for Clark Summit. Now on the Jumbo side, who are we looking for here? Yeah,
for the Jumbos, it's the regulars. Callie O'Brien, Molly Ryan, Erin Poindexter McCann, Maggie Russell, and Sophia Rosa. All 5 of them are dangerous players on both ends of the court. Everyone knows Maggie Russell, one of the strongest players in the NESCAC this season, but the team around her is strong as well, and they can do a lot of damage in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, Jared, we've seen Maggie Russell single-handedly take some of these games over. You know, one of her best performances on the season, at least within the NESCAC, within the NESCAC, scored 18 points per game, 13 rebounds, but against Wesleyan, 27 points and 12 rebounds. So we've seen Russell do it all for her team. Of course, other players have contributed consistently as well. Sophia Rosa, coming out now for the Jumbos, has been one of the best in terms of field goal percentage in the program's history. So definitely a treat to be able to watch this Jumbo team finally together and competing in this NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it really is a team where anyone can come out on any given night and put together a great performance. We saw Rosa against Vassar score 22 points on 10 of 13 shooting. We saw Angela Alibrandi score 21 points and with 14 rebounds against New Jersey City. Players can go off on this team at any time, and that's what I was talking about earlier. If those secondary options really get into the game today, that's a huge boost for the Jumbos offense.
That's right, Jared. Of course, the last time we saw these Jumbos play here in Cousins in the NCAA tournament, their season was cut short due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So these seniors, these graduate students, all back here and ready to show us what we were missing the last time when things got cut so unfortunately short.
Yeah, you know they want to come out and win this whole tournament. It's Clark Summit first appearance, but the Jumbos want it to be a quick one.
Now Lehman and Russell set for tip. Russell wins it easily, and it's going to be Callie O'Brien to run the point for the Jumbos. Swings it around, and the first possession here, a lot of movement from the Jumbos. Rosa at the top of the key. There's Molly Ryan, swings it around, skip pass. O'Brien in the corner. Poindexter McCann finds Russell, the long 2. No good for her, and taken down by McLeod.
Clark Summit dropping into a 2-3 zone early. Interesting look against the Jumbos offense that at sometimes struggles to move the ball. Maybe this will force them to get that ball moving around the perimeter.
Nice move by Singleton, but unable to finish. Rosa on the boards. Jumbos running in transition. Russell, O'Brien, and she hits the first 3 of the game.
And that is a great sign early in this game. Callie O'Brien has not done a ton of damage on offense in recent weeks, but we know how dangerous her jump shot can be. If she's on tonight, huge.
Yeah, her career best 26 points came against Brandeis earlier in the season where she shot the lights out. Clark Summit now looking to answer. There's Lehman. The 3 from Ayton, no good, and Rosa on the board. Quickly fouled.
And get ready for a lot more of that. Clark Summit loves to get that 3 ball up. They hit 9 a game on 27 attempts. They're a quick shooting offense, something that the Jumbos didn't have to guard a whole lot in the NESCAC, and something they don't do themselves all too often. So an interesting matchup as Singleton gets the team hype.
Yeah, Jared, they're going to certainly have to play great perimeter defense here against Clark Summit. They get it into Russell. O'Brien, the 3. And she's feeling it early, 2 for 2 from range.
That's a little bit what I was talking about right there. The 2-3 zone look from Clark Summit forces the Jumbos to move the ball. The ball can't stall against a zone look like that, and another good open look for O'Brien.
Yeah, and the Jumbos in man-to-man as Molly Ryan picks off that pass, finds Russell in transition, but she can't handle it, picks it up in the corner, finds O'Brien. O'Brien now at the top of the key, handling for Tufts, finds Russell. Poindexter McCann, she fakes a 3, drives herself. Ryan, Russell, the long 2. Russell can't get it to go. and looks like off the fingers of Clark Summit. It's going to stay with the Jumbos.
Yeah, Molly Ryan knew that one was off the opposing team, and a great pass by her. Unfortunately, missed shot by Maggie Russell, but the ball is moving crisply. Exactly what you like to see, something I've stressed the whole season for the Jumbos.
Right, and the Jumbos have been moving the ball better as of late. We saw them move it really well with Decker as their floor general in Ryan's absence. Now late in the shot clock, nice pass into Rosa. She can't get it to go, but grabs her own rebound. And Poindexter McCann grabs it. Jumbos going late into the shot clock once again here.
They are, but getting good shot attempts. Ball sticking on the perimeter right now.
Ryan, the three, can't get it to go from the corner. Rebound, Clark Summit. Traxler to bring it up for the Lady Defenders. There's Ayton. Finds Singleton on the drive, but off of her leg, it's going to head back in the direction of the Jumbos.
Yeah, you probably want to see the Jumbos get the ball into the paint a little more in these next upcoming possessions. We've seen this before where they get hot from three to start a game, and then they start to cool down. If they can establish an interior presence right now, it's going to be really hard to stop them.
Yeah, Jared. Molly Ryan's playing excellently as Poindexter McCann knocks down her first triple.
Yeah, we've seen this story before earlier in the season. Sometimes Tufts just comes out hot from the three-point line, up 9-0 right now, and now there's so much you can do on offense, especially with the flexibility Tufts has.
And Tufts playing a little bit of Clark Summit's game. They're 3 of 4 from deep here early. The good defense from Russell and O'Brien. Russell the board. In transition, she'll slow it down. Ryan fakes. Looked inside for Rosa. She picks it up, but turns it over. Ayton with the steal. Now Traxler for the Lady Defenders. Poindexter McCann pressing. McLeod, she drives. Nice pass down low, and that's too easy for Tori Lehman.
That's a good look at the basket right there. But so far, I would say the difference is that the Jumbos have done a good job keeping their opposing players in front of them on defense. Clark Summit is closing out really well, but they're not keeping their players in front of them. They're going right by, and that leads to offensive rebounds like that.
That's right. Molly Ryan working hard on the offensive glass. Gets it into Russell. Back out to Ryan for 3. Molly Ryan can't get it to go, but a tip. O'Brien, second chance points, and Russell makes them count.
The Jumbos are going to be happy taking jump shots if they think they can win an offensive rebound on every possession. 11-2 lead and a quick timeout.
Rather some confusion. No timeout there called from Coach Rick Harrison. He's been the coach of the Lady Defender since 2018. Natalie Tuffy joining him on the staff for the Lady Defenders. And Coach Harrison actually an alumnus of Clark Summit, so you love to see him come back to his alma mater and give back in the way that he has.
Yeah, a small school, so a tight-knit community, I would assume.
Delay of game warning seems against the Jumbos. Singleton to bring up the ball. Again, CSAC Player of the Year, CSAC Tournament MVP Singleton.
Really a dominant season from her.
Now Ayton, the long 2, can't get it to go, and there's Molly Ryan once again on the boards.
And you see 4 white jerseys in the paint right there. They are crashing the boards. They are insistent on winning the rebound battle today.
Nice pass into Alabrandy, but she can't get it to go. Kicks out. Jumbos will reset. Russell guarded by a couple, but gets the friendly roll.
That's a tough look. We know she can finish with both hands. Honestly, maybe the Jumbo's most creative finisher, despite being, the starting center. Impressive finishing from her the whole year.
Nice move from Singleton. Gets by Ryan, but can't finish over Poindexter McCann. Ryan now in transition. There's O'Brien in the corner. Back up to Ryan. O'Brien, another 3, but she can't add 3 more, but Russell on the offensive glass, just dominant.
Yeah, the offensive rebounding has helped propel the Jumbos to this early 13-point lead. Some of it has been luck, maybe a bounce right there, but their size advantage is just huge in this game.
Now the Lady Defenders looking to answer back, already find themselves down by 13. There's Traxler on the wing. Gets it down to Lehman. Lehman working hard. Traxler, the nice move, steps back, but can't get it to go. And there's O'Brien on the board. She'll control the pace. Poindexter McCann. The skip pass finds Russell. Poindexter McCann. She drives baseline, another skip pass. inside to Alibrandi. Jumbos have time. Alibrandi, the little baby jumper. Now Singleton to bring up the ball for the Lady Defenders. Molly Ryan guarding. Jumbos in their man defense once again. Nice pass there in transition to Ryan. And Callie O'Brien tallies an assist.
That is an unbelievable pass on the fast break. Everything is clicking right now for the Jumbos, and O'Brien has been a huge part of that. Everyone is seeing the whole court. There's not any tunnel vision right now, and it's working extremely in their favor.
They get a hand check there on Molly Ryan, and the Jumbos will have a couple of substitutions now. Joelle Zeleny and Annika Decker will enter the game for the Jumbos. It's going to be a timeout here.
Yeah, going into this timeout, this game so far has reminded me a lot of some earlier games in the season. Clark Summit coming out in a zone, and they're trapping up top, and it simply isn't working. We saw this in the Bowdoin game earlier this season. They ran a zone for the entire game. They trapped incessantly, and it never once worked. Maybe the scouting report didn't get out there, but this Tufts team can beat a zone. They move the ball around the perimeter. They get shots up, and their rebounders are good enough so that if they're missing those shots, they do a great job. That was the game Annika Decker started in place of Molly Ryan, the Bowdoin game that is. Didn't score a point, but had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and impacted the game in just dozens of productive and impactful ways. Looking a lot like that right now. They got out to a big lead earlier in that game off of three-point shooting. That time it was from Aaron Poindexter-McCann. Today it's been from Callie O'Brien. But a similar formula, and it's working out.
Yeah, Jared, and we spoke about that ball movement as Decker now comes out onto the floor for the Jumbos. They've moved the ball incredibly well so far in this one. Already 6 assists on their 19 points. So shooting just about 50% exactly, 3-point percentage, exactly 50% as well. But 6 assists for the Jumbos. You have to be happy if you're Coach Jill Pace.
Yeah, it's close to it is as close to a hard rule as there are in basketball, that the higher percent of your baskets are assisted upon, the better chance you have of winning the game. Throughout the season, both with the Tufts men's team and women's team, the more assists they rack up, the better their chances are of winning, and it looks true today.
Yeah, and the Jumbos have noticeably dominated on the boards as well. 13 total rebounds to 2 for Clark Summit, but they're looking to answer here as Singleton guarded and picked up by Molly Ryan. Zeleny, fresh legs there. Good on the switch, though, and a turnover from McLeod.
And now Tufts is forcing the issue, right? If you're down 17 points in the first quarter, you start feeling the need to make up those baskets, and that leads to sloppy play like that.
Now Zeleny running around the free throw line for the Jumbos as Decker handles in the corner for O'Brien. They'll go late into the shot clock once again. That one just out of the reach of Zeleny. Decker gets it into Alibrandi. There's Ryan. Skip pass. O'Brien can't add another triple, but Alibrandi on the board. Some more second chance opportunities. Decker swings it around. She'll go later into the shot clock as well, passing up an open opportunity. Alibrandi, little hook, but can't get it to go, and Traxler pushing the pace, but a couple white jerseys in front of her.
Yeah, they're getting back on defense even after long offensive possessions like that, controlling the clock, controlling the pace. Still stuck at a 17-point deficit for Clark Summit.
And a blocking foul against Molly Ryan, and score the basket for Singleton. Looks like she had a bone to pick there with the Jumbo defense and finds herself at the line for the traditional 3-point play.
Yeah, and you know eventually that was going to happen. You can't keep her out of the scoring column for too long. The question is how much can they contain her for the remainder of this game?
That's right, Jared. And Molly Ryan getting a breather here, something that the defenders haven't gotten just yet. O'Brien gets it into Zeleny, and she gets fouled, finds herself at the line. Only played 1 minute in their last game against Amherst, but already seeing a little bit of runtime here.
Yeah, I was going to note that. Last game, the Jumbos really primarily went 7 deep. Zeleny made a very brief appearance, but didn't see much game time. She's largely contributed hugely to the team in the minutes she's had this year. Immediately comes in the game today and draws a foul. So interesting to see earlier in this game with a 17, now 15-point lead. They're looking to get their players involved off the bench more than they have in recent weeks.
And Zeleny, a sneaky, excellent three-point shooter, shooting 40% on the season, but misses both of her free throws. Looks like Russell's going to enter for Zeleny on the next dead ball. Now Singleton, Decker guarding. Good hands from Decker, but they get her for the hand check. With 4 officials on the floor, tough to argue with that call.
Yeah, Decker doing her best, staying in front of Singleton, playing, handsy but strong defense right there. Unfortunately, ends with a foul call, but, Decker really never gets her head out of the game. She is a real baller.
And it's actually O'Brien who's going to exit for Maggie Russell. So Singleton now looking into McLeod. McLeod, the open lane, and there's Poindexter McCann on the shooting foul.
But Decker did a great job covering the backdoor cut from Singleton. They're going to try to look for creative ways to get the ball into her hands. And if the Jumbos can cut some of those off like they did right there, that will go a long way in keeping this advantage in their favor.
That's right, Jared. And the Jumbos have really defended those passing lanes really well. It's something that Ryan did well when she was in the game, and able to capitalize on that opportunity is McLeod. She hits 1 of 2 from the line, and Decker now bringing it back for the Jumbos. Finds Russell. Poindexter McCann for 3. She makes it count.
Yeah, I mean, the three-point shooting isn't the strongest suit of this Jumbos team, but if you continue to give them good looks like CSU has, they're going to keep knocking them down.
And a nice look there from Singleton. Cuts the Jumbo lead. Now Decker, top of the key. Singleton giving her a lot of room. Good pass there to Poindexter McCann. There's Alibrandi. Decker on the perimeter. She drives, looking to pass, but turnover from her. Looks like Singleton got the worst of it, though. In transition, there's Traxler. And taken away by Russell off the hands of Ayton. It's going to head the Jumbo direction.
The Jumbos are playing with a ton of urgency right now. I think it's an underrated aspect of basketball is that if your team is the first team down the court on offense and defense, if you have people running nonstop, you're just going to generate better looks. CSU is lagging behind on both ends of the court, and it's paying dividends for the Jumbos.
Yeah, Poindexter McCann passing up an opportunity there. Keeps the ball moving. Decker for 3, but just short for her. Singleton fighting for the board. Zeleny in there as well. It's going to be a jump ball.
Huge effort from Zeleny. Looked like that ball was going straight to Singleton, but she comes flying in. We'll end up CSU possession anyways, but it's that effort from all 5 players on the court at any time that really sets this Jumbo team apart.
Yeah, Jared, and the Lady Defenders played 18 games in conference this season, and they're the only team from their conference to make it to the NCAA tournament as Singleton misses and Rosa grabs the board. Jumbos are going to push the pace here, but what does that really say about their strength of schedule? Because they haven't played a ton of teams that are the caliber of the Jumbos as they get Zeleny for stepping on the sideline.
Yeah, of course, CSU is a strong team, and there's a reason they won their conference, but it is just a fact that they played some weak competition this year. They had several absolute blowout wins. 94-34 win versus College of Valley Forge. That's a 60-point win. You think that's cool? They did it again, 93-31 over Rosemont College. They just haven't been playing teams to the caliber that Tufts has in the NESCAC, and that coming in and facing a team with this amount of talent, it's hard to do.
And Poindexter McCann now running the fast breaks. Got some time. Nice move, but they get her for the travel inside. But, yeah, Jared, to expand on that point, again, playing 18 games in conference, 17 of their 23 wins in conference. Of course, when you're not playing some of that competition, coming out here your first time on this big stage could come back to hurt you.
Yeah, it really can. I mean, their average point differential this season was 23.2. That's ridiculous.
Nice pass there from Decker into Rosa, but she can't get it to go, and the Jumbos exit the first quarter with a 22-7 lead here. Jared, what do the defenders need to do to come back and stun the Jumbos here in Cousins?
Yeah, I think they're going to need to change their defensive strategy that they've come out with so far today. The zone, although it has kind of picked up in the last couple minutes, they limited the Jumbos. They kind of got stuck at 19 points for a little bit there. It just hasn't been working. The Jumbos have been generating a ton of open looks. Those open looks have been generating them a lot of offensive rebounds. So if the defenders want to stand a chance to coming back in this game, their defensive philosophy needs to change. Maybe they don't think they can match up man-to-man, woman-to-woman. They don't have the size maybe, but if the zone isn't working, you need to change something.
That's right, Jared. And the Jumbos have exploited that zone really well. Of course, the 2-3 zone, if you're not rotating well enough on the perimeter, leaves you susceptible to that three-point shooting. And the Jumbos have burned them from deep, going 4 of 8 so far. Now the first whistle sounds, so second quarter going to be underway soon. But, Jared, we spoke about what the Lady Defenders have had to do to get back into this game. What do the Jumbos need to do to end it a little bit early?
I would say force the ball into the paint a little more often. The zone look, you get a lot of flashing up to the post, and if they hit Molly Ryan cutting or Maggie Russell at the high post, you can generate more backdoor cuts to get good looks near the basket. You can only rely on offensive rebounds off jump shots for so long. They have the size. If you get Maggie Russell into a more traditional post matchup, or Sophia Rosa or Alabrandi, that would do a ton.
Yeah, and Coach Pace giving some of her starters a little bit of rest. Molly Ryan still on the bench for the Jumbos. Decker driving baseline now. O'Brien fakes a three, finds Russell. Russell the turnaround jump shot, and she gets it to go.
Yeah, as I said, I mean, that's not quite a shot in the paint, but it's a post possession for her. And simply letting her go to work, that's a strategy for the Jumbos. She is that good.
Yeah, and the Jumbos can continue to exploit that the rest of the way. Little miscommunication there between two Lady Defenders. Now Traxler on the drive. Puts it up over O'Brien and gets it to go. Trading buckets with Russell. Long pass, ill-advised from the Jumbos, but Poindexter McCann recovers. Now the Jumbos will reset. Russell the jumper. No good for her, but Rosa on the board. Looking to kick it out. In the corner, Poindexter McCann, and she adds another triple.
And another shot off an offensive rebound. It's just everything is adding on top of each other for the Jumbos right now. They're the first down the court. They're hustling for the rebounds, and they're hitting their open shots. It's a lot going right for them right now.
Yeah, Singleton a little slow to get going for the Defenders. Only 9 points on the board. She's got 4 of them. Nice move from her, but blocked by Maggie Russell. He's going to send it back in the Jumbo direction. O'Brien now to control the pace. Nice move. Poindexter McCann. Another 3 for her.
And Cousins is getting loud. The ball movement from the Jumbo so far has been impeccable. And their shooters are coming through when they need them. Poindexter McCann, another 3. This crowd is loving it.
And there's Russell with another board for the Jumbos. Corner 3, faked. Poindexter McCann, top of the key. She can't hit her third, but Rosa on the rebound. O'Brien into Rosa, turns around, can't get it to go with the left.
We really need to see more effort on defense from CSU here. They're just not closing out on shooters, even though they've been burned by the 3-ball the entire game. As long as they keep playing lax zone defense and not stepping up on their opposing players, it's going to keep happening. The shots are going to keep falling.
That's right, Jared. And they get a 5-second violation against Singleton as 2 more Jumbos are going to enter the game. Poindexter McCann will exit with Rosa for Zeleny and Alabrandi, getting a little bit of run time, of course, giving those starters some rest.
Yeah, we've seen so many things on a previous possession. Maggie Russell guarding Singleton one-on-one and getting the stop. That's your center who's doing that. And here you have your point guard cutting back door.
Zeleny for 3. Just off the iron, though. No good for her. And Singleton now to bring it back for the Defenders. They trail by 21. Good move from her over Decker. They get Decker for the blocking foul, and Singleton will take another trip to the line. She's 0 of 1 from there so far.
Back on the defensive end for CSU, they are just not getting to the corners. At this point, their zone has a gap in them. The Jumbos are rotating well. The ball's getting to the corner time and time again, and they're not getting back there. See, now they've sent 2 women back to maybe, preemptively set up that defense. These are the type of adjustments they need to start making if they want to get back into this game.
Right, Jared, and it's one of the consequences of only going about 5 or 6 deep. Singleton, second free throw is up. And good for her. She nails 2 of 2 from the line as Aya Harper enters the game for the Jumbos, giving Decker a rest. We haven't seen Aya Harper in a game in quite some time now, Jared. What does she add for the Jumbos?
She adds just another dynamic to this team. Energy. She can shoot, and she can handle the ball. Shows a lot. Jill Pace showing a lot of faith in her team today. Up big early.
Now O'Brien on the perimeter finds Alabrandi inside. Nice move from her. gets it to go off the back iron.
I love to see her be aggressive. At times, she has struggled in the paint, and she'll get the ball and look to pass. But when she can get it going, especially in the post and in the paint, just another monster presence for this Jumbos team.
And there's Harper running the fast break. Looked for Zeleny, but can't get it into her hands. But nice defense there from Harper, not giving up on the play.
When I say energy.
Back into the hands of Singleton. 3 from Traxler. Can't get it to go. 2 bounces off that rim, little shooter's touch. And a jump ball there for, looks like it's going to stay in the direction of the Lady Defenders.
And you made a good point. The negative consequences of only going 5 or 6 deep. You keep the same 5 players on the floor. There are no fresh legs coming off the bench to, run down the floor and get back on defense. It's the same players. They're going to get tired. That's why the Jumbos are always running. They can rely on their bench players.
A 3 from Singleton. Off the glass from the corner and no good for her. Traxler. Zeleny guarding closely. Singleton. Harper on her. Little jumper. Can't get it to go, though, and O'Brien grabs the board and a foul on Calderon. It's going to head back in the direction of the Jumbos, so Clark Summit already conceding their 5-point player model, going 7 deep already. We've seen Morgan and Calderon both in the game for the Lady Defenders.
Yeah, when you're down by this much this early, you got to try out new things. That's clearly what we're seeing today.
Zeleny around. Russell. Can't get it to go. Zeleny fighting for the rebound. Oh, nice pass into Harper, and she finds herself on the stat sheet. She got a board and 2 points now.
When you hustle, the ball goes your way, and that's exactly what happened on that possession. Everyone getting involved for the Jumbos.
Nice move there from the Lady Defenders. Looked like it was McLeod. She'll add 2 more. Zeleny now in transition. Nice block down low, but off the fingertips of the Jumbos. It's going to head in the Lady Defenders' direction, but still trailing here by 21 with 5:11 left to go in the second.
Look, I think the Jumbos just match up very well against the CSU team. Elizabeth Singleton, she's only 5'5", and she won CSAC Player of the Year, and she averaged 11 rebounds a game doing that. She's not going to get 11 rebounds against a team with this much size. It's not going to happen, and then that takes away a whole aspect of what CSU does so well.
That's right, Jared, and they haven't been moving the ball to find themselves open looks on the perimeter either. Sam Souza fresh in the game for the Jumbos. She takes Zeleny out. And a hand check there from Calderon on Harper as Rosa gets set to re-enter this one.
Yeah.
Jumbos have been able to sit their starters quite a bit as they know this is a very long tournament and they've got to keep those legs fresh to go the whole way.
Yeah, a blowout win in the first game of the tournament where the Jumbos can, keep some mileage off of their players' legs could be huge going into some later rounds. There are a lot of teams this tournament that do what CSU does, which is play your best players the entire game. If the Jumbos can get away from that and their players have fresh legs later in the tournament, this could be a deep run. It really could be.
Yeah, Jared, and of course the Jumbos getting set to and prepare for another deep run into this NCAA tournament. Of course, so many stars on this team. Poindexter McCann coming back for a graduate year. This is a team that wants it. Alibrandi coming back for a graduate year as well. This is a team that's been here before. They want to do it again. What do they have to do tonight to be able to make a deep run into the tournament?
2 years ago, heartbreaker that they couldn't continue throughout the tournament with the outbreak of COVID-19. Now is the chance for them to get revenge for what happened then. In terms of this tournament, they just need to focus on what they do well. Towards the end of the season, they started getting away from some of their strengths. Molly Ryan was really struggling. The ball wasn't moving like it was before, but they've come out today and they've done the opposite of all of it. They look like the team they did towards the end of the regular season. If they can stay focused, eyes on the prize, energy as they've shown today, it's a hard team to stop. It really is.
Now O'Brien handling for the Jumbos. Finds Harper on the wing. Rosa down low. Nice pass to Souza, but she's blocked by McLeod. Second chance for the Jumbos. It's going to stay in their direction, but the Jumbos have done a really good job here of going late into the shot clock.
Yeah, they have. When you're up 21 points in the first half, that's an underrated way to get get to the end of the game. They're burning clock on every possession. Game's going to be over sooner than you think if you're CSU.
Harper for 3. No good, and the buzzer sounds despite hitting the rim, but Singleton on the rebound, pushing the pace. She handles, pass to McLeod. McLeod with the fake inside. Handling at the top of the key. Nice skip pass. Inside. Looked like a little scramble for the ball, but the Jumbos with the jump ball, possession arrow in their direction.
I think CSU, they need to kind of copy Tufts a little bit on the offensive end. Singleton is a dominant offensive player, but she can get better looks if the rest of the players around her are moving more freely and generating better looks for themselves, which they have not done so far.
Maggie Russell for 3, but can't make them count.
A lot of Singleton ISO is what they rely on, and it's just not going to be enough, as we see right there.
Nice screen there, got Harper off, but can't get it to go. And now Callie O'Brien handling for the Jumbos. Nice pass to Rosa. She can't finish over her defender.
But on that possession, Rosa open in the paint. You had an open woman, Aya Harper, on the three-point line. CSU is just not marking Tufts players on defense right now.
Nice pass inside to Singleton, but Rosa right there. And a pass again to her, but can't get it to go again. Grabs another board. Some more second chance opportunities. And straight to the rack is McLeod. She makes him count, cuts this lead to 19.
Yeah, there's some of that rebounding, that tenacious rebounding from Singleton, but not enough so far. We'll see if she can keep that up.
And Singleton ice cold for this lady defender team. She's just 2 of 11. Maggie Russell getting inside, looking to convert on the conventional three-point play. Nice job inside for her.
Yeah, something I was talking about earlier. We haven't seen a lot of traditional post play from Russell so far today, but that's always an option in the Tufts, offensive playbook, as it were. For a quick bucket, there she goes. She goes and gets the and one. You don't always need to be hitting the 3 ball if your best player can just take any defender on the other team and take him into the post.
Russell can't convert, but Sam Souza on the rebound. Harper now on the wing for the Jumbos. O'Brien back to Harper. Harper the 3. The long 3, no good for her. O'Brien grabs the rebound and hits another one.
It does remind me of that Brandeis game. Callie O'Brien has a great looking jump shot, and it doesn't always fall, but when it is, it comes in bunches, and it has tonight. If she can stay like this for several games throughout the tournament, it gives them a completely new dimension. Early in the season, it looked like she was going to be that new maybe 3rd, 4th star. It didn't quite happen, but she's always been productive. If she can add this consistent offensive game for this NCAA tournament, that's tough for the rest of the teams in the tournament.
That's right. Sometimes all it takes is for one of your shooters to get hot, and Callie O'Brien is just that. She's 3 of 5 from long range, 9 points to her name for the Jumbos. And that's only good for 3rd on the team. Maggie Russell's got 10, and Poindexter McCann has 12. She's 4 of 5 from three-point land. Yeah,
Poindexter McCann, really one of the best three-point shooters in the history of this program. What she's done this year has been unbelievable from three-point range. Their most consistent shooter the whole way through, and really, she's able to go off at any moment. 4 or 5 from 3 from her is not a surprise. We see it all the time.
Yeah, Jared, it's almost unheard of, but the Jumbos already emptying their bench. O'Brien, the only remaining starter in the game. Mallory Folliard has entered for the Jumbos, hasn't seen the floor in quite some time. 3 ball there from Traxler's, no good. And O'Brien now finds Harper in transition. Jumbos are going to slow this one down.
Yeah, some context on that. We saw games where the Jumbos would be up by double digits, 20 points in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and Jill Pace wouldn't put in the subs. She would keep the starters in. For her to bring in the subs early in a game like this, minute left in the first half, shows a lot of confidence in this team, shows a lot of confidence in this win, and shows that she has a game plan to take this team to win the entire NCAA tournament.
That's right, and Coach Pace has been here before, of course, 2019 NESCAC Coach of the Year, so knows her personnel and can use it very effectively. Nice pass into Folliard. And a long 3 from Harper misses everything, so it's going to be a shot clock violation against the Jumbos. But again, Jared, they lead 39-15 here in Cousins, a 24-point lead in the first half. And Clark Summit needs to get something going. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night and a long second half here in Cousins.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the subs are on the game to close the half, which is a little bit unheard of. They're milking the clock. They didn't score in that possession, but with a 30-second shot clock, now we're under a minute left to go in the half, and it's looking pretty tough for CSU.
Yeah, the Jumbos going very deep into that bench. Sam Souza guarding the passing lanes very well. Had that deflection. Nice move there from Lehman, but O'Brien on the rebound. She can't make it fall, and CSU has really just struggled.
Yeah, every single one of the Tufts leading scorers is on the bench right now. And clearly Joe Pace thinks that these reserves are good enough to keep up with the CSU starters.
And Jared, quite frankly, they have. Of course, Clark Summit only shooting 23% from the field, so we expect that number to come back just a little bit, but their ball movement just hasn't been there. Only 1 assist on those 15 points.
Yeah, that's really a telltale sign of what's going wrong for them today. A lot of iso ball, not a lot of ball movement as compared to what Tufts has been doing, which CSU pretty much forced them into with the zone. Oh, what a move right there.
Yeah, beautiful move from Folliard. She gets it to go, adding 2 points here for the Jumbos on the big stage.
Jill Pace's confidence paying off. She thinks these reserves are good enough to go toe-to-toe with CSU, and right now she's correct.
They get a travel right there, so 3 seconds left for the Jumbos. Looks like they'll get up a last shot here in the first half, second quarter. And Sam Souza will take it out from the sideline.
Think they can put a cherry on top of this half?
O'Brien, half court, and the block there from Calderon. Jumbo crowd looking for a foul, but they won't get it. So the Jumbos will enter the locker room with a 41-15 lead, and we'll see you back for the second half of this NCAA tournament first round matchup between the Tufts Jumbos and the Clark Summit Lady Defenders.
You're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
we've learned a lot from him, and we've probably learned more from him than he's learned from us.
I think they're a real important part in my life. I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact is a national nonprofit that connects kids living with serious and chronic illness with college athletic teams, forming lifelong bonds and life-changing outcomes.
Give me a break it! Break it!
Can I have a hug? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
When you spread the word about Team Impact, you have the power to change lives.
So hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
show you something.
In the shot.
Welcome back to Cousins Gymnasium on the campus of Tufts University, where we're bringing you coverage of the NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Tournament. Again, I'm Sam Brill, joined alongside Jared Cohen. And this first-round matchup between the Tufts Jumbos and the Lady Defenders has been a little lopsided, but anything can happen in the remaining 20 minutes of basketball. Jared, talk to me about what the Jumbos have done well so far.
Well, they came out absolutely on fire, hitting 3 quick threes to jump out to a 9-0 lead, and they have not let off the gas pedal since. CSU coming out in a 3-2 zone trap really forced the Jumbos to move the ball, and the ensuing ball movement has been unbelievably crisp. They've gotten great looks, and their size advantage has led to a 31-15 advantage on the rebound column. Just absolutely dominant.
That's right, Jared. And the Jumbos have been able to empty their bench while this team has really been only able to go 7 deep. So talk to me a little bit about what they've done well on the other side.
The Jumbos have, on both ends of the court dominated. CSU, there are good spots and bad spots. Overall, that 7-person look has led to them not really getting down the court fast enough, but Singleton has generated some good looks at the basket that haven't been able to fall. Their 3-point shooting was non-existent in the first half, 0 of 7. Some of that will start coming back to earth, we would assume. This is a team that likes to shoot threes, and they know they have players that can make them. So in the second half, you would like to see CSU get back to what made them tick during the regular season, which is, dominant offensive play, a lot of 3-point shooting, and crashing the boards. We'll see if they'll be able to do that, but certainly a tall task with a 41-15 deficit.
That's right, Jared. And some of this shooting has really just been abysmal from Clark Summit, and you expect them to shift at least somewhat back towards their season average. Only 23%, as we'll see the starters out on the floor for the Jumbos once again. Most of the Jumbos were able to see a significant amount of the first half on the bench, and how do you think that is going to impact the remainder of this game and maybe even the remainder of this tournament? Of course, they've got a game tomorrow as well.
It's really great for the team. I think some people don't talk about it a lot, but when you have a team that relies a lot on its starters and its first people off the bench, when you can get 10 women in the game, it's good for everyone. It's good for team morale, it's good for energy, and of course it saves the legs of some of those more dominant players for more important moments later in the tournament. Really, the impact of that cannot be understated.
Yeah, Jared, and you spoke about it, but as soon as some of those bench players, at least traditionally throughout the season, had come in, we saw that bench going almost crazy. So now we've got this second half of basketball, and Singleton immediately handling for CSU. There's a 2 there from Traxler, and she makes it count early.
Yeah, and those shots were not falling in the first half for CSU, so maybe a sign of a little bit of a turnaround early here in the second half.
Now Rosa, Molly Ryan the 3, and she makes it count. Molly Ryan, one of the storylines for this Jumbo team, not only in this game, but for the remainder of the tournament. Again, we had talked earlier about how cold she had been.
Yeah, and she really hasn't been incredibly aggressive so far today. That was her 4th shot attempt so far. She nailed that one. Her being a little less aggressive, working out so far for the Jumbos. We'll see how that continues to impact their team play. Oh,
nice pass into Rosa, and that's, again, just too easy for the Jumbos. Singleton now carrying for the Lady Defenders. The cross-court pass. A 3, and the first one of the game falls for Allison Ayton.
Yeah, and there you go. Maybe the luck turning a little bit, but will it be enough? We'll have to see, especially if the Jumbos are playing the 2-woman game like that with their bigs on the floor is the call. Or, yeah, on the floor. But great look at the basket right there. Oh, excuse me, offensive foul. Jumbos, if they can counter improved shooting from CSU with more shots in the paint from themselves, they'll have no problem closing this game out.
Singleton, the nice pass there to McLeod. Gets it back inside, but just off the fingertips of Singleton, and a costly turnover there for the Clark Summit defenders.
And the CSU reliance on Elizabeth Singleton has kind of bit them a little bit in this game. Some turnovers coming off of plays where they need her to get the ball. An interesting outlook on a game where she needs to, put up numbers for them to win.
Russell, a 3 of her own. Rather, they call that a long 2. So only extending the lead to 28 for the Jumbos is Russell. Singleton now trying to take the entire Jumbo defense, and off of her feet, it's going to head in the Jumbo direction. Singleton pleading her case, but to no avail.
Yeah, she is not happy, but you see right there, Molly Ryan over-pursued a little bit, but Callie O'Brien was right there to pick up Elizabeth Singleton. Just great team defense from such a well-coached Jumbo's team. And right there on the little in the paint jump shot from Russell, just her, the way she can manipulate the defense with her eyes, a little fake pass right there opens up a wide open jump shot, which she can hit. She can hit from really anywhere.
That's right, Jared. And this Clark Summit team has really just been playing a 2-3 zone almost the entire season. So now the Jumbos seem to have figured that out and are exploiting it. A long 3 there, though, from McLeod, and she makes it fall, cutting the Jumbo lead to 27. Molly Ryan to Poindexter McCann. And Poindexter McCann answers right back for the Jumbos.
Erin Poindexter McCann open in the corner is almost automatic. It seems like a layup for her sometimes. That is her 5th 3 today. She's leading the Jumbos with 15 points, and honestly, it's not even a surprise at this point.
Oh, and a nice pass inside there for Tori Lehman. And Clark Summit coming back immediately, adding some of their own. O'Brien now up top for the Jumbos. Rosa, the jumper. No good for her. Molly Ryan trying to grab the board, but into the hands of Russell. O'Brien, another 3, but no good for her. Didn't look great out of the hand.
One thing I would like to see the Jumbos do in the second half is on some of these offensive rebounds, I would like to see them go right back up strong. They've passed out of a lot of opportunities in the paint, a lot of opportunities to draw fouls, I would say, especially on the behalf of Alibrandi and Russell. They've been passing out a lot. We'll see if they can take advantage of some of that later in this game.
Nice step back from Singleton. No good for her. And Jared, what are the Jumbos going to do on the offensive end here?
You would like to see them just milk the clock maybe, but when you're on your game on offense, you don't want to do that. You want to get good shots, but as long as they keep getting offensive rebounds, which they are, they can really do whatever they want on offense, which is what's so scary about this Jumbos team. At any point in the game, up 30, down 10, whatever it may be, they have so many options. Their weapons are so flexible. They can do so many different things that at this point, it's anyone's guess what the Jumbos do. They could bring in the subs. They could run Maggie Russell at point guard. We have no idea.
Yeah, the Jumbos are going to get a little bit of rest here. Decker and Zeleny to enter. It's going to be O'Brien and Russell taking a seat. It looks like Alibrandi is going to come in for Rosa, but of course Rosa, the shooter, she'll shoot these 2.
And I would really like to see Alibrandi be aggressive in the paint and get shots up. Easy buckets for the Jumbos. If CSU is going to get hot on offense, which so far in the half they've hit their jump shots, if they're going to do that, the best way for the Jumbos to respond isn't by chucking up more 3s. I think it's to do what they do best, get the ball in the paint, and just keep that lead where it is.
Now Singleton to bring up the ball for Clark Summit. She's 3 of 14 so far on the season. Kicks out for McLeod. Excuse me, not McLeod, that's Traxler, and Traxler hits the 3.
And so, as I've said, that luck has shifted a little bit. That's already 3 threes in the half for CSU. But the Jumbos are doing a good job staying calm on the offensive end. If they can keep doing that, it might not matter.
Yeah, Decker now calling the play for the Jumbos, the new floor general for Tufts. Poindexter McCann in the corner. Swings it around to Zeleny. Zeleny to Ryan. Ryan, nice drive, trying to make something start. Late in the shot clock, Poindexter McCann the 3, but no good for her. And missed the rim, so Clark Summit will have it underneath the basket. And Sophia Rosa exits for Alibrandi.
I would say CSU is doing a little bit of a better job in the second half within their zone defense of not laying too far off of Tufts shooters. In the first half, their help defense was a little extreme. They had, opposite wing defenders in the paint. Right now, they're doing a better job sticking to their Tufts on the perimeter. And it's working. We'll see how it goes from here.
Singleton trying to catch the Jumbos out of rotation. She shoots it over Decker, but can't get it to go, and they'll get the Jumbos for a loose ball foul. So it's going to stay with Clark Summit here as they still trail by 26 halfway through this third quarter now.
And as we enter this timeout here in the third quarter, the stat sheet is looking very interesting for the Jumbos so far today. Really dominance that we haven't seen a lot this season to this extent. 36-17 advantage in total rebounding, including 16 offensive rebounds for the Jumbos, a 14-4 advantage in assists. And at the start of the half, Clark Summit only had 1 assist. So that's improved dramatically since then. Clark Summit, they have started hitting on some of those things we talked about earlier in the game here in second half. Their baskets are coming off of assists. They're knocking down their jump shots. That being said, they're still only shooting 32% from the field. That's not going to be enough to make up this gap with Tufts shooting 46%. One thing the Jumbos have not done tonight is get to the free throw line or make their free throws, only 1 of 5. Easy way to put games away when you're up by a lot is free throws, getting to the line. That should be a key for the Jumbos going into the end of the third and the start of the fourth quarter.
That's right, Jared. And if you're Coach Pace, you can't be disappointed with this large lead, but you do have to continue to stay disciplined and play that brand of basketball. Of course, 1 of 5 from the free throw line isn't going to cut it in close games. And, of course, they're beginning to run away with this one. But later in the tournament, these are things that you need to be intently focused on.
Yeah, and you know Joe Pace wants them to get on those now rather than later.
That's right, Jared, as they force that turnover. Poindexter McCann with the steal. Now O'Brien. Zeleny in the corner. Finds Alibrandi on the block. Defense collapses, but she can't get it to go. And a rebound there from CSU. Singleton diving for it. Alibrandi grabs it. O'Brien. 15 left on the shot clock. Decker now. O'Brien. Top of the key. Short, but the shooter's touch gets it to go off that front rim.
It's that type of day for Callie O'Brien. Shooter's roll, her 4th made 3 of the game, I believe. And now they're responding with some threes of their own.
Yeah, Jared, one of my personal favorite broadcasters would have called that the fortuitous bounce. A shout out to Clyde Frazier there. Nice pass inside, but a foul there on the Jumbos. Tori Lehman will be at the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, haven't seen a ton of fouls so far in this game on either side. Only 10 combined free throw attempts for the two teams. Oftentimes in second halves of fast-paced games like this, that changes in a hurry, and they quickly get to see teams go to the bonus. That would be interesting to see happen here. If the Jumbos get sloppy on defense, they're giving CSU an opportunity to get back in this game.
That's right, Jared. Lehman makes him count. That's 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. She's got 6 on the game, 2 of 4 from the field. Now O'Brien swings it around to Decker. There's Zeleny. Poindexter McCann on the drive. Kicks it out to Zeleny, who drives herself up with the left hand and makes it fall.
And I think one of the reasons Jill Pace is so comfortable going to her bench in a game like this is that this team is so well coached that she knows with the bench in the game, they're only going to do what is asked of them. They are all going to come on the floor, play their role, make good passes, and make good shots like that. And it's so great to be able to trust your team to do things like that.
That's right, Jared. But CSU just, playing a little iso ball with Singleton. She puts a nice step-back move on Decker to add 2 of her own. Now Decker on the wing. Finds Zeleny, back to Decker. Into Alibrandi. Nice pass. Poindexter McCann fakes a 3, drives. O'Brien another 3, but no good, just a little too much. Now CSU in transition. The long 3 there. No good, off the front rim from Ayton.
Yeah, and CSU right there, they did something I like. They got the ball out, and they were playing with pace. They really haven't been able to get many transition looks so far today. And in a possession like that, when you get the ball so far ahead, you don't want that to end with a three-point shot. Look for CSU to push the pace if they want to make a run towards the end of this quarter.
Alibrandi, the nice jumper. She adds 2 more and extends this Jumbo lead 61-32. And Jared, I think it's only a matter of time until Coach Pace empties her bench once again.
If she hasn't already, no, only one starter on the court right now.
Nice move there inside. Singleton finishes with the right hand, and she's got herself in double figures. That's 12 for her now.
And that's the type of ball movement they've been missing. You know, Singleton might be their best finisher. If they can get her off cuts like that where she doesn't need the ball in her hands.
And O'Brien with a little heat check makes it fall from deep. Callie O'Brien now 15, tied with Poindexter McCann for leading scorer in this game, both with 15 points on the game, 5 3-pointers each.
You just love to see her get her jump shot back. It's such a weapon for this team.
Aya Harper taking it away, but off of her hands, it's going to remain CSU basketball, and Rosa's going to re-enter with Colby Shea, who sees her first minutes in a while for this Jumbo team.
And it's just kind of proving today the flexibility this team has. They will always have a size advantage in a game like this. Alibrandi exits and Rosa enters. You can take advantage of that at all times. It's really an underrated part of this Jumbo's team.
And a nice cross-court pass. 8 in the long 3 at the buzzer, but no good for her. Decker the rebound. She pushes the pace. Colby Shea wide open on the wing. Finds Rosa. Rosa looking for Zeleny inside, but Singleton taking it away. Running in transition herself, but loses the handle. She'll slow it up. The Jumbos now have a 30-point lead. Singleton, nice move. Can't get it to go, but a foul from Aya Harper sends her to the line.
Yeah, Singleton just sizes up her defender there, and it's such a quick first step. She's so good at getting to the basket and drawing fouls like that. I really am interested that the CSU team, as they are not taking advantage of fast break opportunities. They're not really particularly looking to get out and run. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe they see their best way of running is in the half court. But oftentimes, when you're down by this much, you really want to get some energy into your offense by pushing it.
Singleton with the second free throw. That one's up and good for her. So Singleton really still doing it all for this Clark Summit team. Jared, I think you showed me a stat earlier today that said she scored over 40% of her team's points this season.
Yeah, her and Brandy Traxler carried a huge load of the scoring for the CSU team so far. As I said in the keys to the game, Takeo taking away either of them, and that's a huge chunk of CSU scoring. The Jumbos have really been able to do that.
CSU trying to get something going here. Fakes the corner 3. But couldn't really see that, blocked here by the pillar, and it's going to be a turnover on CSU, so headed back in the Jumbo direction. Decker handling for Tufts. Finds Zeleny. Back to Decker. Harper, the 3. But Aya Harper can't make it fall. Nice offensive rebound, and Zeleny's going to find herself a trip to the line. Joelle Zeleny now, only 2 points on the game for the Jumbos, but set for her second trip to the free throw line. Her first ended with no points, still 0 of 2 from there, so her third free throw of the day is up and good.
And every time she comes onto the floor this season, she really is a positive impact player, always doing exactly what the coaches want for. And that's often why, beyond their normal subs of Alibrandi, she is often one of the first ones off the bench.
That's right, Jared, and making up for her previous misses, hitting 2 of 2 from the stripe now. Jumbos lead 65-35. Shot clock turned off here in the third quarter. Singleton. Traxler, the long 3, but no good. Rosa on the board, and the Jumbos have some time to get up the last shot. Decker to Colby Shea, and Colby Shea looking back for Decker. Decker headed to that corner, and another turnover for the Jumbos. CSU with 0.3 seconds left. Looks like Singleton's just going to tap it. And she does, and we're headed now to the fourth quarter where the Jumbos lead by 31 here in Cousins. And Jared, now let's revisit those keys to the game and see how those Jumbos did tonight here in Medford.
Yeah, so if you were watching pregame, you know I said that the Jumbos needed to put the NESCAC behind them and come out with their best basketball, doing what they do best. I would say they have done that. Obviously, I don't know what's going on in the minds of the Jumbos players, but they don't seem worried about what happened in the NESCAC whatsoever. Next, I said they need to take away some of CSU's stars. As we mentioned, they rely heavily on the scoring output of their best players this season. That has been easily a strong suit for the Jumbos today. They have checked that off 100%. Elizabeth Singleton, 5 for 17 from the field. She shot 54.5% this year. That's under 33%. A huge swing for the Jumbos. And their second leading scorer, Brandy Traxler, only 5 points today. The Jumbos have done what I said and more. Next, we said hammer the size advantage, hit the offensive boards, pick up rebounds. The Jumbos have done that in spades. 41 total rebounds, 18 offensive rebounds. They might have been listening to us when we said it. They've done that so well. And lastly, we said we need secondary scorers like Callie O'Brien to be aggressive. They have done that. Callie O'Brien with one of her best games of the season, hitting 5 threes already. Clearly, the Jumbos were prepared to come out in this game and take a beating to CSU.
That's right, Jared. Glad to hear that they're listening to us, or at least we like to think that they're listening to us.
Course.
And Colby Shea on the elbow. Can't get it to go, but Jumbo's going with certainly a new look. Molly Ryan, the only remaining starter on the floor general for the Jumbos. And Hannah Kelly seeing her first minutes for the Jumbos in quite some time as well. So glad that Coach Pace was able to get everyone involved today.
Yeah, really just look at the bench right now, up 30, and they're still chanting. It just does wonders when your whole team is involved like they are today.
Good drive there from Lehman. She'll find herself another trip to the line. Lehman 2 of 2 from the charity stripe today. She's got 6 points on the game. That one up and good for Lehman. So she remains perfect from the line.
A telling stat so far, only 6 CSU players have attempted a shot today. 12 Tufts players have attempted a shot. The difference in depth has really been apparent from the get-go, and it's a huge part of the 66-36 lead that the Jumbos have.
Hannah Kelly inside. She finds herself on the stat sheet. 2 points for Hannah Kelly.
Make it 13 players who have taken a shot.
Now Singleton, another nice move from her. Gets it stuck, and it's going to be a jump ball, so the officials are going to have to take a minute. Singleton trying to climb up there and grab it out.
And the mop does the trick. Singleton's energy has not changed. That's one thing to note. Even down big, she has been energetic and pushing this CSU team from the start of the game.
And Singleton, the senior guard from Schenectady, New York, showing her skill the entire way. Clark Summit has a couple of graduate students on this team, so we could see Singleton again next year. Hannah Kelly now, nice move. And she gets the foul. She'll find herself a trip to the line.
And the bench reaction just says so much. They want these players in the game and putting up shots in the NCAA tournament. And it's where we are right now. It's huge to get minutes for everybody. Up 30 points like they are right now. It's just the team is looking good.
That's right, Jared. And, of course, it's super important to get your players some experience here in the tournament because it only comes around once a year and, only so many opportunities for these players to feel this and feel this type of energy. You walk in the doors and the fans are getting T-shirts saying "Defend Cousins." It only happens so many times. It's really important to keep it going.
And for the program, Molly Ryan is a senior. Angela Alabrani is a grad student. Erin Poindexter McCann's a grad student. The players we're seeing now may be staples of Tufts lineups for years to come. And for them to get experience like that in the NCAA tournament is huge for the team.
And a nice step-back move from Singleton, but she can't get it to go. Folliard on the rebound, and Molly Ryan now handling for the Jumbos. Nice cross-court pass to Colby Shea. Finds Hannah Kelly, Molly Ryan for 3, but she can't get it to go. And another jump ball forced down inside by Folliard.
So many jump balls today, really as a result of just straight hustle plays from the Jumbos and CSU. Everyone is diving for the ball. You can tell that this is an NCAA tournament game. There is no lack of effort on either side.
And no lack of effort, no lack of energy. It's exactly what you wanted to see and expected to see from this Jumbo team. And little mix-up on which way the possession arrow was going sends it towards Clark Summit, who now trails 70-36 here in Cousins. And one thing the Jumbos haven't done a whole bunch this season is blow teams out.
Yeah, the NESCAC is a competitive conference, and the Jumbos played a lot of competitive teams. They didn't get a ton of chances to just absolutely slaughter their opponents, as CSU really did their entire season. It must feel a little bit odd if you're on the Lady Defenders to be on the opposite end of what they did to so many other teams this season.
And a great pass inside to Sam Souza. She can't make him count, but she'll be headed to the line. She's got 2 assists already in this one, but no points yet, so looking to be another Jumbo
to get on the
scorecard.
Yeah, and it's something I talk about a lot, is that just so many of these Tufts players off the bench, even if they don't, put in a ton of work in the scoring column, they all know how to just make positive plays. I mean, Sophia Rosa today, 1 for 5 off the bench, only 3 points, but she's got 10 rebounds, right? Or you look at Hannah Kelly playing positive basketball, and always we talk about Annika Decker, who, again, does not have any points today, but every time she's on the floor, she's a positive impact player. When you have 13 or 14 of those like the Jumbos do, it's really scary if you're opposing them. And again.
And McLeod, I mean, it's confusing to see it once, but we're seeing it twice here. That ball gets stuck. And the man underneath with the mop fixes it. I believe that's Billy Dunn from Tufts football. And his teammates over to my right here in the crowd cheering for him. Jumbos lead by 35 here, 71-36.
And more subs in the game. You just love to see this if you're the Jumbos. I can't repeat it enough. Such a positive impact for the whole squad.
There's Sofia Gonzalez for 3. And she makes it fall. Sofia Gonzalez underratedly has been excellent for the Jumbos this season. And another Jumbo on the stat sheet. She's shooting 50% from 3 in her limited attempts.
And the energy from the bench is so huge. It just shows so much about this team. They want all these players to succeed.
Yeah, and a nice job by Lehman there to trade buckets with her. So Jumbo's lead is 74-38. Gonzalez finds Folliard on the elbow. Nice move from her, and the scoop layup is good.
And she's shown some impressive post play so far today. Multiple occasions of just simply manipulating the defense to get a basket with her ball fakes. Maybe we'll see a lot more of her in the future if she can keep doing that.
Now CSU looking to add. There was Traxler, but she can't make it fall, and Gonzalez on the rebound, pushing the pace for the Jumbos. Folliard to Souza. Souza fakes the 3. She drives. Scoop layup, no good. Folliard on the offensive board. And CSU helping to pick her up. Excuse me, that's not Folliard. That was Caitlin O'Boyle for the Jumbos.
Excuse us.
Singleton now handling for CSU. Nice pass inside and a finish there from McLeod. It's going to be a timeout here from Coach Rick Harrison. Not quite sure which way this one's going to go, but the Jumbos lead is 38 here in Cousins. 6:04 left to go.
Yeah, lead briefly got up to 40, really looking like a lot of those games that CSU took part in this year, some of their 50, 60-point wins. Maybe the Jumbos can run it up to that. And again, not to pile on to CSU here, but the Jumbos bench has really outplayed the CSU starters. Clearly apparent here in the second half. It looked at the start as though CSU might start knocking down their jump shots, make this game a little closer. But the Jumbos went straight to their bench, and they've been playing nothing but positive impact basketball, and the box score is reflecting that.
Yeah, Jared, and you really have to tip your caps if you're Clark Summit to this Tufts team. They've played excellently all season. They've played a lot of really stiff competition, and while Clark Summit did have quite the season and quite the finish to the season with a win in their conference tournament to get them the automatic bid to the NCAA Division III tournament, hasn't been going their way so far and could be a little bit a product of facing some weaker competition earlier this season.
I really do think it is a testament to the level of competition in the NESCAC. It's a truly competitive D3 conference where you're playing good teams week in and week out. You know, for someone like Elizabeth Singleton, who is truly a bucket getter, you know, she's a great player. She dominated the CSAC. For her to come out against a team like the Jumbos and they hold her to 5 of 19 shooting so far, it shows the NESCAC really instills a lot of great basketball in the teams that compete in it.
That's right, Jared. Now Hannah Kelly, one of the deeper bench players on the floor for the Jumbos. Souza in the corner, inside to O'Boyle, but they get her for the offensive foul. It's going to head back in the direction of Clark Summit.
Yeah, I thought that might have been in the restricted area. I guess not. But even negative plays like that are evidence of the ball movement that the Jumbos have had. An unselfish play to get an open look at the basket, unfortunately, ends in an offensive foul. We'll see if CSU can, you know, maybe make this look a little prettier in these last 6 minutes.
And Jared, only 15 players are allowed on your roster for the Division III tournament, and every single one of those 15 has entered the game for the Jumbos. Can't say the same about Clark Summit as O'Boyle grabs that steal. Gonzalez now running in transition. Colby Shea drives to the basket, goes up and underneath, can't get it to go, grabs her own board, grabs another one. Now Folliard kicks it around to Gonzalez, tells her team to slow it down. She takes a 3 of her own. No good for her, Hannah Kelly. The long rebound taken by Singleton. Singleton one to beat. Beats her with a nice scoop layup in the right hand.
And that's what I think the CSU should have been trying to establish a lot earlier than now. As I've said, if they could have gotten that fast break going, it could be a different game, but they really never pushed the pace. Maybe that's a result of their 6-7 person rotation. We're seeing it now, but, you know, too little, too late.
That's right, Jared. Seems like a little too late. Jumbo still lead by 36 as Hannah Kelly pulls a 3, and she gets it to go. Jumbo's lead is 39 here in Cousins. Now Singleton handling for the defenders. A 3 of her own from Traxler, and she gets it to go, trading 3s with Kelly. And
honestly, one thing, I'm surprised that CSU hasn't come out with a more aggressive attack from behind the three-point line. They've only taken 19 threes so far with 4 minutes left to go. As I said, they take 29 a game usually, so a discrepancy there.
And the officials forcing the Jumbos to play through contact down there in the post. Looks like we're going to have another media timeout. 4:03 left to go here. Jumbo's lead is 81-45.
And normally we would say time to empty the bench, but it's already been emptied.
Now with 4:03 left to go here in Cousins, the Jumbo lead is 81-45, and the Jumbo bench has entered the game. They've been in the game basically the entire fourth quarter, and remaining on the floor for Tufts, it's going to be Hannah Kelly, Sophia Gonzalez, Mallory Folliard, Caitlin O'Boyle, and Colby Shea. For the defenders, it's going to be Singleton, Michaela McLeod, Tori Lehman, Randy Traxler, and Allison Ayton. Singleton trying to run that offense, finds Traxler. They get the Jumbos for a foul. That's Gonzalez on the hand check, a little over-aggressive.
Yeah, no need for that with under 4 minutes left to go, but always good to see the Jumbos staying aggressive on both ends of the court. If there's one thing about them, they never get out of that coaching that Jill Pace instills upon them. They're always doing what's asked of them.
Nice pass around to Ayton. Singleton on the wing, guarded by Colby Shea. Nice pass there, but can't finish is Traxler. Jumbo's on the rebound. Gonzalez to bring it up and slow the pace just a little bit.
Yeah, and props to the CSU players. Down this much, it'd be easy for them to just give up, but those starters are still in the game. They're still fighting. They don't want, to go down with a whimper in their first ever NCAA tournament.
And Hannah Kelly still remaining aggressive. She'll take another trip to the line. Hannah Kelly with 7 points already for the Jumbos. 2 of 2 from the stripe. 1 of 1 from long range. And 2 of 2 from the field as well. First free throws up and off the back iron. No good for her. But Jared, we haven't seen a win of dominant fashion like this for the Jumbos all season. And it's certainly nice to get your starters some rest here late, especially before a long tournament like this.
Yeah, and it's certainly nice to get that first giant blowout win in the NCAA tournament. No better way to start it off than that. The action will continue this weekend here at Tufts University. Exciting stuff. The winner of the earlier game today was the DeSalles Bulldogs, so it looks like the Jumbos will be taking them on in a matchup tomorrow. DeSalles, a dynasty in their conference, 4 straight championships, 10 total. That looks pretty scary for the Jumbos, but after what you just did today, there might not be a lot of fear in the hearts of the team right now. Interesting to see how that matchup turns out. I think the Jumbos stand a pretty good chance.
That's right, Jared. Of course, anything can happen in this tournament. Everything is won and done. Win or go home, and Sophia Gonzalez now handling for Tufts. Inside, that's O'Boyle. Looking for Folliard. Nice pass, but just underneath the basket. She can't finish. Now CSU headed back the other way. Singleton from just inside the free throw line makes it count.
Yeah, and as you were saying, with multiple games this weekend alone, the use of the bench today really gives the Jumbos the option to just straight run their starters if they want to in their next NCAA tournament game. Not something you would think they would be able to do, but just this effort from everybody today has given them that ability to really choose what they want to do and work their game plan for DeSalles.
Nice move there inside from McLeod, but blocked. It's going to remain with the defenders, and Clark Summit has to be walking out of this gym hanging their heads high, especially after the excellent season that they had.
Yeah, okay, this was a blowout. Big win for the Jumbos, but doesn't really do anything to make the season that Clark Summit had any worse. They went 17-1 in conference. They won the CSAC. They went 23-4 overall, and this was their first NCAA appearance. A lot to be proud of, a rising program, and I'm sure next year they're going to look to come right back here.
That's right, Jared. And, of course, with more dominant seasons, you can begin to recruit excellent players as Gonzalez looks to add another 3, but can't do so. Hannah Kelly fighting for the board, and it's going to be another jump ball, this time possession arrows with the Jumbos. So
yeah. I mean, Clark Summit, they got a tough matchup. They did. They had to come in and play an extremely talented Tufts team. If they had drawn maybe like a SUNY Cortland, a team like that, maybe the result would be different. So no need for them to hang their heads low. They had a strong season, and I'm sure they're proud of all the progress they made.
Folliard adding 2 for the Jumbos, and Ayton adding a 3. Anything at this point, just looking to make that final score look a little nicer. Jumbo's lead is 32, 84-52. Colby Shea finds Hannah Kelly. Just a couple of possessions remaining in this one. Singleton, the steal. Gonzalez in transition looking to block, but Singleton finishing over her. And we're going to get a full timeout here from Coach Rick Harrison.
Looking to make a last-second comeback.
Well, Jared, of 30 points in 1 minute would certainly be a miracle here in Cousins, but looks like it's just going to be too little too late. And Singleton able to pick the pocket of Gonzalez and add 2 more. Of course, anything remaining just to make that final score look a little bit better.
Yeah, and for Tufts, anything to put a cherry on top of the sundae. The team is united together. They're proud of the way that they played, and they're excited to move on to the next round of the NCAA tournament. As we've talked about so many times, the NCAA tournament being cut off early due to COVID 2 years ago. Not something anyone foresaw, not something anyone was happy about. Now is the opportunity for this team to come out and avenge what happened 2 years ago and get that NCAA tournament win that they've been waiting so long for. There are graduate students on this team that came back just for this opportunity, and so far, they've shown why.
And it's a little funny that you say that, because those same graduate students that came back for this opportunity now find themselves on the bench watching the future of this program just go out there and have some fun. Of course, Jumbo leads still 30 here, and Sofia Gonzalez handling for the Jumbos. Had a couple bright spots earlier in the season. Folliard now looking for Gonzalez, but just out of the reach of her, it's going to be Clark Summit ball once again. 49 seconds left, and looks like it's going to be the final possessions of this Clark Summit team. Singleton, top of the key, poked away, but she regains possession. Nice pass around the perimeter. Pass deflected there by O'Boyle, and Folliard can just hold this one out. Hannah Kelly in the corner, back to Folliard. Up to Gonzalez, and Singleton guarded closely. Gonzalez needs to pass, finds Folliard around to Colby Shea, and the Jumbos are just going to play with this one the final 10 seconds.
Yeah. Winding down here at Cousins Gymnasium, an 84-54 victory for the Tufts Jumbos. Pure dominance today. 15 players on the roster. 15 players enter the game. 15 players attempt a shot. Truly a wonderful performance from the Jumbos today. My name is Jared Cohen. I was joined by Sam Brill. We will be sending it down to him for a post-game interview in just a second. But really, an unbelievable start to the NCAA tournament today. We saw the DeSalles Bulldogs defeat the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons, and now we just saw the Tufts Jumbos defeat the Clarks Summit Lady Defenders. Both games were games with large scoring margins, blowouts as some would say, and it sets up a good matchup for later this weekend between Tufts and DeSalles. Today, however, your leading scorers for the Jumbos were Callie O'Brien with 15 points. She hit 5 threes. Erin Poindexter-McCann with 15 points. She also hit 5 threes. O'Brien, previously mentioned, added on 8 rebounds and 6 assists to her effort. And the Jumbos' third score.
Number 31, Serena Morgan. Number 32, Andy Maxwell. Number 33, Juliana Baker. And number 34, Elizabeth Singleton. We would also like to recognize the coaches in support staff for Clark Summit. Head coach Rick Harrison. Assistant coach Natalie Tuffy, student athlete Claire Sprout, athletic director Wes Uppelman, sports information director Michaela Mears. Congratulations to the Clark Summit University Lady Defenders. Let's give all these outstanding student athletes a round of applause. Fans, please join us tomorrow for the NCAA second round matchup between the
Gymnasium here at Tufts University, we have Sam Brill standing by with a post-game interview.
Yeah, I'll. Aaron, you guys had a great game tonight, obviously, against an excellent opponent that had a great season. How did you guys come out and do it?
We wanted to start this game really aggressive. That's something we've been lacking in past games, and we just wanted to come out to this tournament with an intensity and to win, not just to play, but to win this game.
And how special is it to be in this home gym of Cousins?
It is very special. Seeing all the banners has me think about all the alumni that are before us and that haven't been able to get to this point because of COVID and everything else. So we're really dedicating this season to them. So shout out to the class of 2020 and 2021.
And Aaron, you individually went 5 of 6 from three-point range. How do you carry the same energy tomorrow against an excellent DeSales opponent?
The next one's always in.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
Okay,
and
thank you so
good luck
much.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
That was Sam Brill with Aaron Poindexter McCann. I am Jared Cohen, and we are signing out. This is JumboCast from Cousins Gymnasium. We will see you in the next round of the NCAA tournament.
You're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.